What do you immediately think of when you see the words come on screen based on true events? Most people think the same as what happens in the movie has actually happened and we are seeing a dramatization of the events portrayed on film. People also think the same when they see the words inspired by true events. But what many people don't know is with based on stories and more so with inspired by stories, the stories in the film are not the same as the actual events or have not played out the same in real life. For example, let's take a look at 2013's The Conjuring. I have reviewed this movie and the sequel before, so I will keep this brief. With 2013's The Conjuring, at the end of the opening scroll, before the titles displayed with the eerie music that accompanies it, we see the words based on the true story. Now, this is a movie littered with jump scares, horrific visuals, and loud music with an explosive climax, so yes, it may be different from the real events, but the core stays the same. A family is plagued by the spirit of a witch who had murdered her child for Satan, which then requires the help of the Warrens to save the day. Despite what people may say, one of the many things that the director James Wan, the cast, and even Lorraine Warren herself maintains is that the original Conjuring movie is very accurate to the events portrayed in the film. Many of the scares in the movie are heavily influenced and play out the way of what happened in real life. Now, if you don't believe in ghosts, witches, or any of that, then this video ain't for you, because the only way I can turn any of this shit into an essay is going underneath the assumption that what happened in these movies actually happened. So, bear with me. With The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, we are still based on the grounds of reality, with real people and real consequences, but one of the many things that is definitely the case with this movie is it does a bit more reality bending or universe fusing than one may think. What I mean is that the movie is about the real life case of Arnie Johnson, but because this is a big horror franchise, the villain of the movie is from the Conjuring universe, which never existed. It is revealed in the movie that there has been a bunch of occult-related deaths throughout multiple counties and towns using the same altar that is used in the film. It is revealed that a witch from the Disciples of Ram cursed Arnie Johnson, but only after he invited the demon that had possessed the young boy David Glatzel. Arnie then proceeds to murder his girlfriend's landlord after he was intoxicated and wouldn't let go of his girlfriend. In the movie, he hallucinates that her landlord is actually a demon, chasing him down, to which he stabs the demon to death, only for it to be revealed that it is of course the landlord. This here is where one of the many things that has changed about the whole translation from real life to the movie, and that is the real life event. Arnie has no recollection of it. Arnie had never remembered the events that transpired and only remembered when he was picked up by the police covered in blood where he asked if he had hurt someone. From this point on, the movie is very different from the story that inspired it. As I said, the story is very different from real life to movie. The Warrens discover the altars and connect the murder of the landlord to murders from other counties with occult behavior. Now, with the curse that is placed on Arnie by the daughter of a former priest never existed. As a matter of fact, in the movie, Arnie is possessed by one demon and one demon only. In real life, the real Ed Warren claimed that he was not possessed by just one demon, but instead 43. In the movie, how Arnie is saved from the curse is when Ed and Lorraine fight the witch and destroy the altar which frees him from the demon. In the actual event, after the murder, Arnie never had an exorcism, or at least I can't find any knowledge on it. So, as one can see, the story is definitely not the same as the original. They both have the same endings, with Arnie being convicted, but does this make it a true story, or a horrific fictional story based in a real event? I personally treat this movie how I would treat many war movies. That is, they are fictional stories grounded in a real setting, sometimes with real people too. For example, the movie Saving Private Ryan is grounded in World War II, more specifically, the D-Day invasion, but has a fictional story about a squad of infantrymen trying to track down a Private Ryan to bring him home after the rest of his brothers were killed during the invasion. There are real people in this movie, especially that of politicians, higher-ranking officers, etc. Not to mention, the movie is inspired by a real policy after 5 brothers in the Navy lost their lives when their ship went under. The Devil Made Me Do It is based on true events, yes, but it veers off in a different direction to make it different. So, what's the grand point to all this? I guess what I'm trying to say is with movies that say they are based on a true story, it's important and vital to know what exactly they mean when they say they are. With the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the movie claims to be based on real events when it is in fact inspired by a real serial killer named Ed Gein. He would use the skin of his victims to make furniture, along with robbing graves, but he was nothing like any of the family members in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, nor was there ever a group of people he slaughtered like animals. The whole point is not to take it with a grain of salt whenever it says based on a true story, but more or less learn what it actually means when it says so. Is it a factual story or just horrific fiction? That will be left up to the movie you are watching and your interpretation. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Brendan Reviews, and I hope you guys all have a great day, evening, night, whatever the fuck time you guys are watching this, and I will see you all next time.